And welcome back for our next community conversation. We're here with Sage Corbin, the Advancement and Partnerships Manager at the Jefferson School Foundation. Sage, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good. Glad to hear that. So you're here to tell us about the second annual mega blood drive called Sickle Celebration. So tell us about that celebration. What is it?
Yeah, so Sickle Celebrations are our annual blood drive that takes place in September. With an intentional focus, we're aiming to increase blood donations from the Black and Brown community, with hoping to guarantee there's compatible blood for patients with sickle cell disease. Our mission's critical because patients require closely matched blood, so representation in the donor pool is truly saving lives.
Absolutely. And last year's Sickle Celebration was a pretty big success, I hear, right?
Yep.
All right. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, we collected over 39 pints of blood, which exceeded our goal. It's never easy to do, but it was especially impactful because over half of those donations came from African American donors. So I think it's speaking volume to the commitment, awareness, and trust that we're trying to build around the cause with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of impact, about 10 organizations are involved. So are you looking to add more partners this year?
Always, and absolutely. We're always looking to grow this effort. One of our goals this year is to double the amount of donations coming from participants, and we can only do that through partnerships and community. So if anybody is interested, individuals, organizations, feel free to reach out to the Jefferson School Foundation to learn more. We're currently hosting monthly planning meetings, keeping up to date with partnerships, and if anybody's interested, reach out.
Wonderful. And then one last time, when is the event? When and where?
Yeah, it's going to be September 19th at the Jefferson School City Center at Carver Rec. If you can't donate blood, that's perfectly fine. There's plenty of ways to participate. You can volunteer, you can donate, or just simply show up. We also have a sponsored Prolific event where we run walk that following Monday. So any effort is helping the mission.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sage, for coming in today. It was
Thanks.
great having you here.
Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. We'll be right back. Stick with us.